Girls fucking dancing, barefoot, right? And they're all just fucking dancing. She literally just goes,
Wow. Weddings are lit.
It's my deep insecurity from being a wedding DJ and coming up as a wedding DJ and not being a cool club guy. You know what I mean?
After AM did it, he totally thought of it himself.
I hate the wobble. It needs to disappear, dude.
I'll never forget. I didn't know mixing was a thing. Neither did the guy that taught me.
Late night legends. Late night legends. Direct from Vegas. The world famous Club Killers crew.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Late Night Legends, brought to you by Club Killers. I'm your host, DJ DeVille. Welcome, everybody. Welcome in. We got the whole crew here. We got Icon, we got Exile, and our special guest,
Yes,
Nick
sir.
Spinelli, in the building. Welcome.
What's up?
Let's go, Nick, baby.
How we doing?
Yeah,
Philly
we're
in the
doing
building,
great.
Philly.
And we're
All
happy
about
you're here,
Jersey,
man.
Jersey.
And nice shirt, by the way. Nice shirt.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Appreciate
it.
you
Guys.
rocking that.
Appreciate it. Yep.
I heard your wife loves it.
Yeah. My wife loves it.
Yeah, that's great. Hey, we had to do something. It's 2025. It's a new world, right?
That's a good ass
honestly,
idea, honestly.
it's
Like, this-
working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing the reception that it had, because we kind of like it was a concept from Alex that he kind of drew up, and I'm like, bro, this is gonna when you see it, you know it was automatically a hit.
Yeah, like I don't know how you guys come up with it, because like there's a merch section in YouTube. Like I've been dying to I want to sell merch. Like I want to come up with nothing. I got zero ideas. Like I cannot. I've been thinking for years of something.
It's
and
hard.
you guys just pump
Wedding
the fuck
DJs
out.
do it better.
Just I'll give you my number.
I mean, in mass scale, do they? Like, I mean,
Oh man! Well, because I remember the first DJ shirt I had was from Abercrombie and Fitch, and it says DJ scratched their 12-inch. I'm like, gotta have it.
Yo.
Gotta have it.
No way.
And I
Be
went
careful
to a
now.
Catholic high school.
oh my god.
They let me get away with that. I don't know. I don't think they really understood.
Bro,
But-
we need to bring that
Abercrombie
back.
Fitch?
Like,
yeah, Abercrombie was ahead of the curve.
That was
Yeah.
a shit.
Yeah.
I worked at Hollister when I was like 17. I was one of those like shirtless boy
Yeah.
whores. You know what I'm talking about? like you weren't like a clothing guy. You were a model. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And they were pumping the techno before Zara
Yes,
did. Way
yeah.
before Zara,
Literally, bro.
Yeah.
Literally.
That was
OG.
amazing.
2003.
Yeah. I had a shirt from them too. It said "Only if you drop a few." And it was like savage mode. Like just the super savage, like the chauvinist, like just nasty shirts. I wore those to the
Yes.
bar. It was- yeah. So you got to take that inspiration. You know, we're bringing it to the DJ world, but you know, it's a lot of fun because like obviously you know working with him too. Like you know in the feature world, and is getting a lot of ideas. It's so much fun because you're using that same creativity in the music. You know,
Yeah.
But then you're putting it on a shirt, kind of immortalizing a concept and an idea,
Yeah.
and making it relatable so everybody wants to wear it. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, obviously, not everything's a
So
hit
why
either.
can't I think of one? I can't think of one.
Oh man,
Like,
but the
one.
fact that it's on your radar, right? It's you're gonna have one amazing diamond idea, and you're ready because
I
as
hope
long as
so.
you have the infrastructure, because you're building your infrastructure, and that's actually a lot of things I want to talk to you about because
Yeah.
you've leveraged so much of your DJ world through social media, YouTube, things like that in your brain. And this like one of the first things I want to talk to you about is like actually there's a lot of things I want to talk to you about because there's such an expansive world that you've built. And being in the corporate scene versus the club scene, and the first thing I just want to paint the picture of where you're from. What was your background in it? Did you get into corporate immediately, or was that something you got into as you evolved as a DJ?
Short story was I was a drummer in a band.
Oh.
And I was going to be a rock star. And I was tired. I was the guy that was putting together the practices and grounding everybody up, and you know what I mean. It was just getting to be a pain in the ass, and I was broke. And I got offered a job to help a wedding DJ, local wedding DJ. He gave me $10 an hour to just go to weddings with him, rolls, wires, and everything. So it was like $60 a day. Back then, minimum wage was like $5.15 an hour. So I was like, "Fucking A, man! I'm gonna buy like a, you know what I mean? I'm gonna get this Xbox quick." And so while I was doing that, so I got hired when I was 15. So 16, I started kind of like doing, he was teaching me the ropes or whatever. Then the band broke up, and I was like, well, fuck it. This is like, I don't have to deal with other members. I could just be like a solo thing, and this is still kind of like it tickles the same pickle,
Yeah.
like it's the whole perform, whatever the hell you want to call it. And,
Absolutely.
And that's how I got into it. And I started doing weddings with him, and then hopped around or whatever, and just try to grind it out. I mean, I went to college for no reason. I met my wife in college, so thank God.
Yeah,
but
that's
like,
the reason. It happened for a reason.
That's the reason, right?
Yeah.
We got our son and everything. But like, everybody said it wasn't a real job.
So you went straight into the wedding scene immediately.
Immediately.
So because
That's
that's
my
something
background.
I relate to that a lot because like I started kind of in the the cafeteria, high school, doing school dances, proms, things like that for my own college or for my own high school. I mean, and I kind of started to do clubs, but I immediately got approached to start doing weddings and corporate events in parallel to that. So I had a really good training period for doing both because I wasn't a music head as a kid. So I was learning about Michael Jackson and Prince, all the older stuff for me, what was perceived as old then. But then it transferred very quickly into corporate, right?
Yeah.
And so did you do clubs too, or did you kind of stay in that lane?
No, I was late, man. Like basically, I was in that lane. I didn't learn how to beat mix because like the guy that trained me like didn't like even beat mix. You know what I mean? Like didn't even mix.
Like old school,
just fading it. Yeah, like an old big like the 19-inch rain mixer and the PC DJ and shit. And I learned on CDs, and then we had PC DJ and then virtual or whatever. It wasn't until I was like 17, 18. I was like,
what year was it? What year did you start?
2003.
Okay, yeah,
So
close to where I was too.
Serato wasn't around yet, right?
It just got invented.
Yeah. 05.
It didn't. Serato didn't take hold till like 06, 07. Like as far as a mainstream
So
platform.
were you on CDs? Like the CD?
I had a CD mix too.
Okay.
I was rocking for a minute a Newmark CD mix too. We had a built-in little CDs, and then I had like a Denon CD deck with the 19-inch mixer and all that, and then eventually got the DAC 2. If you guys remember, like a PCD, you probably wouldn't because I feel like only wedding guys used it. But anyway, I'll never forget. I didn't know mixing was a thing. Neither did the guy that taught me. Okay, I'll never forget. I worked with another guy doing a wedding, and he actually beat mixed. We were using CDs, and I'll never forget the first beat mix I ever heard. It was Play That Funky Music, and then he dropped by Usher, like you know what I mean, like mix it together, like over the course or whatever. Man. And I was sitting there, I was like, "What the fuck was that, dude? That's a thing." And then from there, then I geeked out and like started, you know what I mean? So like whatever. But yeah, no, I didn't get into. It was impossible to get into any bars or clubs. Like I was a wedding guy. Like no one would even like. I got left on red everywhere. I would go
where
out.
In the United States
nobody.
Were you at
I was
time?
in like South Jersey, but my cities were like Atlantic City and Philly. So I was like 40 minutes from each. So I always went out in Atlantic City. I always went out in Philly. There's lots of underage clubs too, like 18 to enter, 17 to enter type stuff. So like I was an avid clubber. So I was very familiar.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But yeah, no, it wasn't until much later I got into really any bars and stuff.
So you actually, the reason people weren't calling you back was because of the stigma of being a wedding DJ, or just because they didn't know your brand yet?
I think so.
Okay.
I got a fucking list, bro. I'm a petty Italian. I got a list of all the people in the back of my head like this.
Let's go.
Of like, I come on, man. Like, you know, like literally like hitting them up and everything. And then like years down the road, I guess whatever,
you know, like
I got cool, and then they're like, "Hey Nick, what's up?" I'm like, "Oh, you motherfucker!" And it's a fucking list. It's a list.
He goes to sleep every night. He's like, Andrew, Jacob, Mike.
That's right.
Oh man,
people say it's like, "Oh, you can't hold grudges. It's bad for you." No, it's not.
No,
I agree. Alex, I agree.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
Thank you.
No,
we're just.
But it just took a long time, and then you know, because it was a big stigma. I think it's the line's getting blurred now. You know what I mean? I think it's, you know, and a lot to like, you know, with Jason Jani and like a lot of the other guys that like kind of were the first to kind of do both. You know what I mean? Like in general, I mean not first, but you know, like to kind of like make it. They
bridge the gap.
Yeah,
because even in the Midwest, where I was trying to bridge that gap and kind of riding that line as long as I could, because there wasn't really social media yet, so you didn't have to announce that you were doing a wedding. Nobody cared. You could be there anyways. So I never talked about it. And, you know, there was kind of like this perceived brand confusion. Like I was doing it more as a brand identity thing. Like DeVille's a club DJ, so you book DeVille. You can just book Zach if you want me to do anything of that sort. So it didn't really matter. But then as the optics grew, as we had Facebook, you know, Facebook was the only place you could be for a while too, right? Yep. And so then you had to be kind of a little more careful. Like you wanted to kind of brag about it if it was a big corporate event, but you know, at a wedding you still didn't have to talk about it. You weren't going to do it, so who cares?
Yeah.
But then one of the things that you really opened my eyes. You were the one that like made me realize that, wow, weddings are lit. Because like I had this thing about weddings. I haven't DJed a wedding since 2007. I do corporate.
Yeah.
I'll do major events in a corporate environment or a structured, more proper environment where it's just like award shows, things like that. But since I was so out of tune with weddings for so long, you kind of showed me the light again. I got to give you props on
Thanks,
that.
Thanks, man.
Because you're doing club stuff at weddings.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden my brain clicked and identified. And you also bridge that gap with social media presence in showing people, hey, this is possible and watch me do it. And you're flexing all at the same time. So you're flexing at a wedding. So that's amazing. So one of the things is like, how did social media change your business? Because there was a threshold, right?
Yeah.
There was a threshold for that.
Yeah, it changed everything. I don't know. I was always, for a long time, I was always scared to post wedding content because I don't want to put myself in that box, number one, right? Because I was already struggling with that, like being in that box. And then the other side of it was I didn't want anybody to bite my mixes. And it's really just a stupid thing. Like, I don't know what, so like,
you're protecting your intellectual property of playing. But now
It's
all
happening
that way
a lot.
now.
Like a lot of DJs have been mentioning that they've been putting out routines and they'll bite it and then they'll go more viral. It's like, dude, I made that first.
Yeah,
like
and
Jay
I've seen that a million
now,
times, and they just film it the right way. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
It's happened to me a million times. Yeah,
it's happened?
Oh yeah,
Oh, okay, so it's already happened.
And people will tag me like, "Thanks for the inspiration, Nick Spinelli," and they'll do the routine. And everybody has a different opinion on that. I don't know. It's going to happen. I don't know. So Chris, I was interviewing Chris Villa on my YouTube show, and he said he was like, we were talking about something with that, and he's like, "Listen, man, Jazzy Jeff said it best. He said, your art, you gotta die empty. Like, you want to put all your art out there. If you don't put your art out there, you just leave it all here. You're gonna be forgotten about the second you fucking die. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you put your art out there. Like, you want to die empty." And I was like, "Damn, that's a good point." And that's when I started
that's a powerful
posting.
quote.
Yeah.
And what year was this?
This
when you
was
started
21. I've been doing like YouTube and content for a while, but routines.
When did you get serious about
22, actually.
22.
I think it was 22 or 21. One of those years or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, so then I just started to lean into it. I'm like, I'm really going to show like what I do at weddings, and like, cause like I want to like attract more of that too. Like, I want that to be my niche. Like, I can maybe not every couple wants whatever at a wedding, you know what I mean? Maybe they want it super traditional. Maybe they like line dances and all that, but like, this is what I want to do. Like, I still did the line dance weddings, but it killed me a little inside every time. Just like I died a little more, just to the left, everybody, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like, if I put a lot out there, you get what you put out, you know what I mean? So if I put that shit out there, I just started leaning into this like heavy.
Yeah.
I fucking swung my leg over the fence, and then it really changed everything. So now I'm attracting the right couples, and then you're able to get a higher dollar amount too, because if you get more, whatever, couples. They want their vendors to be a flex. You know what I mean? Like, why do you buy a fancy car? It's all a flex, right? It's the same thing. Look at the DJ I got. Like, you know what I mean? Look at this. Look at the
that's a huge concept that like is a departure for what I'm used to as well, because the DJ was just supposed to be a professional decorum situation.
Yeah.
He was just kind of like a conductor of a very proper scenario.
Yeah.
Now you're the master of ceremonies for a party.
Oh,
like
yeah,
a full-blown party.
You're
Yeah.
MC. You're like, when there's downtimes, you're the one that is like making sure, like dinner, for instance, right? Like, it's not a party, but you got to make sure that you're controlling things. If people are getting bored, like I went to a wedding once and this guy got up and started doing magic, and it sounds so cheesy, but it was actually awesome because it totally filled up this gap of the wedding being, and he was great. He got
The
up there.
DJ did, or
No, the
separate?
DJ got up there. Did this,
What kind of tricks?
trick.
Like card tricks?
Yeah, he went
Did
around
have a
every
hat?
table and did this like card trick thing, and he was really good at it. And it was like, it was fire. And I was like, wow,
I never heard of that. That's actually interesting.
No, it was great, like for like that situation. But like that is such a skill. Like you have to. It's not just mixing. It's you're facilitating the party.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah. But I learned, like, running a wedding, I learned early on. That was like, you know what I mean? And then it was really just like evolving the mixing and everything you kind of put on top of it. But yeah, there's a lot of moving parts. It really is. You got to have a lot of systems. We were talking about it earlier, like before we went on. Like, you got to have systems. Like,
Systems explain.
I have a system for everything, like how I handle like requests and like the timeline and the format and remembering these nuances, like little like details. Like some couples you don't
can you
talk
break it
to
down?
at all.
Because I'm like zero knowledge of weddings. Like I don't think I've ever.
He's only been married 4 times though.
Yes,
so.
I have.
We have quinceañeras, bro.
I have an iPad with good notes, right? So it's just it's an app where you can put notes or whatever, and I have a note thing for every couple, right? Every time I meet with a couple, I take detailed notes. If they tell me something, I have everything in there. So that's like one of my systems. Then we have like the online planner and stuff too, so I can keep track of everything. Some couples you meet with once, that's it. Then you meet with them right before the wedding, and you barely meet.
best.
Other couples I meet with 10 times, or they send me an email for the dumbest shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I've heard.
Like, it's just like a one. Actually, I was thinking, can we do this one song? So you just have to have systems to keep track of all that. And then like other systems will be just like handling requests and stuff. Like I basically go through and I make a crate for everything. I'll have like a formalities crate with first dance and all that. I'll have a dinner crate. I'll have dancing crates a lot of time. Like I'll break it down. You know what I mean? Like if they like more like classic classic house, I'll have that in one place because like I might like go on a, like, and break it down genre specific, must plays. Their parents had requests, so like I know it's parents of the bride. That's a crate, so I know they're on the dance floor, so I can time it out correctly. Like all that shit. Like like do not plays. I always blew out, so I reset my play count on Serato. So like any do not plays, I just go through and play it like early, so it's all blued out, and like I train my mind. I don't even look at the blue songs.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like just little systems like that, so you don't fuck up because you have to remember everything. Like
that's crazy.
And when you charge more too, like when you get up, there's no room for error. That's just the hardest part about it. Like if I fuck up, like that is they're like, why do we pay? Why do we get you? If like you're gonna fuck, like it takes zero talent to not play Michael Jackson if they said no Michael Jackson. Like that's zero talent. All you gotta do is fucking remember.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And remember he was in Jackson 5 too. You know?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta like
So they go with ABC and all that.
Yeah,
Wow.
like I don't know. Just
Well, actually, that's a question I have too. Is because I worked with the owner of the wedding company, and we were like the dream team because I stayed focused on the programming, and he dealt with the bridezilla and everything else. So, do you have somebody that you work with, or do you just handle everything?
So SCE Event Group handles all the booking. They handle the sales meetings, so I don't do any sales meetings anymore. And then they just schedule a meet and greet with me, and then just meet and what's your vibe?
But on the floor at the event, it's just you.
Oh, and Santi, me and Santi.
Oh, so you have like that's
Santi's like my main guy. Yeah, so it's two people every time.
There's the scientist behind the decks, and then there's somebody that does like the A to B conversational, preparing for events and dances, and actually just talking.
No, I do all that.
Well, so you do everything on the fly by yourself.
I just bring Santi. Santi helps me set up, break down, things like that. Like you know what I mean, like. If I die at the wedding, he could take over. He could rip. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's all... And then he films all the content, too. So, like, he's the guy behind the camera.
He's the guy going behind the viral videos.
Correct, yeah. Because I always have, like, a camera. I like the camera in hand look.
Yeah. Because, like, what happens, like, this is why I don't do weddings. So, because I have such a fear of being overbeared on, like, while you're trying to work and perform for a large group of people. I mean, some of these weddings have 1,000 people at them. It's wild what happens. So, then all of a sudden, you got somebody in your ear trying to, ask why the hors d'oeuvres or behind the DJ booth and like, hey, why aren't you doing this right now? And they want to have a conversation right now while the track's ending. That's why I always liked having that kind of the buffer, somebody that speaks and is the ambassador for the bride and groom while you stay doing your job. Yeah, that's why it works so well for us. But it's amazing you can multitask at that level.
You just learn how to do it, man. Just so you got to multitask and not get like I don't know. So, like some DJs,
especially
when
you're doing routines, bro. You're actually really into it.
Yeah, the word plays, tone plays.
If I'm about to do like a whole routine or something, or if I'm doing like something crazy, I'll just have to hit just 1 second. You'll see just 1 second, and then also step over there, shit on the video, and then like bang, and then you know what I mean.
What's dope about your routines that they're you program to wedding friendly. You're not doing a routine where like, bro, we don't even get this. Only like real DJs get it, but like it's friendly. Like it's surface. Like it's good. Like it makes sense to like people who aren't in depth with music. Some people only listen to music because they only turn on the radio and that's it. If you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And they're really good. I'm like, okay, and they got it. Versus if you go into an intricate one, like only,
Sometimes I do that, and I'm like, no, why did I do that? That was stupid. But like,
really?
I try and make it obvious. I try and keep it real. You know what I mean? Because I want it to. Yeah, I want even like.
Well, the reaction you see the older people.
So I try and do that every once in a while. I'm like, I do a routine. It doesn't work out. I'm listening to it back. I'm watching the video back. I'm like, yeah, you're pretty woke back there.
Well,
Nick.
have you ever gotten?
You know what I mean? That was definitely for the. You did that for yourself.
For the DJ.
You selfish piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like that was selfish of you, Nick. You didn't have to do that.
Come on. These guys don't know.
You knew it wasn't going to work, Nick. You knew, I get mad at myself.
Have you ever had somebody at a wedding that maybe didn't know what was going on or does not appreciate club culture or DJ culture at all, where you've actually gotten some flack? Or somebody actually like, why'd you do that? Like, what are you doing? Well, this is too crazy.
Every once in a while, you'll have Aunt Donna coming up with the Merlot breath.
I was just thinking that.
And,
shout out to Donna.
She's like, listen, I was hitting that 2-step and you didn't give me the second verse and yada, yada. And it's a balance. And even when that happens, I can't say I don't disagree with them because it's like, well, there's some validity to that. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe I did mix that shit too fast. Maybe and there's and you got to just constantly watch and, cause especially people that aren't used to dancing and stuff. I mean, you're all DJs, obviously. Sometimes I gotta let shit live, and but that's the only thing. I never really get flack about like word plays or like anything,
or even going too high energy or too crazy. That was always something I worry about in certain corporate environments where they don't know what EDM is.
Well, see, I would say at like a wedding, especially like the last few years.
Yeah.
The weddings are hype.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
like they want that.
Well,
stuff.
wedding music's crossing over to clubs.
Well,
Yeah.
they're all getting at the age
Yeah.
where the golden age of club music is now appropriate for them because
Yeah.
they're at that age.
Like the EDM remixes of like Journey, for instance. Like
Yeah.
a lot of those, because they'll sing the hook, and then if it's like a younger type of crowd, and then what I found is like the older parents, they'll dance. If like the bride and the groom and everybody's on the dance floor and they're killing it, dude, it doesn't matter. As long as they're happy, the whole dance floor is vibing off of them.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think it's a herd mentality. So like I try and play to the majority of the room. I mean, I have conversations with a couple and they know, they tell me what they want or whatever too. But like if it's majority younger people, I'm going to lean way more into that because the older people tend to just be like, well, we're surrounded by young people. Let's just vibe to what they vibe, even if it's like the hardest shit. They have no idea what I'm playing. You know what I mean? Like I'm playing like some Chris Lake, like whatever. They're still vibing, and vice versa too. You know what I mean? If it's majority older people and the couple wants me to be open format, I'm gonna lean more into like disco and stuff like that. And the younger people are gonna vibe, like you know what I mean? Because it's like, well,
they want those photo opportunities because like that's an investment in itself. Is making sure everyone's having a good time optically. You paid a lot of money for a photographer too,
That's true
not just
too,
the
yeah.
DJ. So you got to make sure everyone's having those moments because I love candid photography. That's one of my favorite things about weddings. It's you see such cool things happen, and it may be out of context, and it just looks incredible. So like you need to make those things happen, paint that picture through music, and like I said, the herd mentality really makes that happen.
Plus, people are drunk. Like you go to a wedding, you've been drinking
Most of the
since
time.
like 4 o'clock. Like the ceremony ends, happy hour starts, and like
I got
you start
stories.
drinking. Yeah, you get to like 9 o'clock, and people are
Oh man,
fucking
okay, I want to
lit.
hear one.
I want a
I wanna
story.
hear one.
I know you've seen it. You've seen it
This is
all.
some shit, dude.
Yeah, I need a story, man. That was one of my questions.
One of the funniest ones. I was at a wedding once. I was DJing. I was at a wedding. I was no shit. I was fucking DJing.
Hey, you're a wedding DJ?
No way. Girls fucking dancing barefoot, right? And they're all just fucking dancing. She literally just goes. And just keeps dancing barefoot in it. And I'm like, oh my God. And then they all just start dancing around it like it's like right in front of my shit.
What?
I didn't get it on camera, but yeah, like people
Oh my
are
God, this wasn't in the
wild.
woods.
No, this was at a ballroom. Like this is like a $200,000 wedding, like in a ballroom somewhere. Like
It's like something out of Hunger Games.
yeah,
It's so good.
like people
That's
wild
so
out.
good.
Because like people, there's a lot of people at weddings that don't drink all the time. They're not into that. So then they come and they, overindulge, and it's hilarious, man.
What
It's
about
got people
requests?
Requests?
Yes.
Like what do you mean?
What stories you got for that, or like as far as how do you maneuver through that, your programming? Because as club DJs, we get the phone, right? But we have a club in front of us. We know what to do.
Yeah.
At a wedding, how do you cater to the bride, to the mom is happy, make sure everyone's happy? So how do you maneuver through that?
So couple over everything.
Always.
I don't. Yeah. Even if I have to piss off the mom, if I know the couple isn't going to vibe this or doesn't want this, I'm not doing it. Even if the mom, like I've had parents get upset with me or whatever, but like couple over everything. So that's number one. Number two, I never throw. I listen to the request, and sometimes, oh shit, I didn't think of that. Good idea. And then other times it's like, fucking Nickelback's not going to fit right now. You know what I mean? But I never throw the couple under the bus, because what happens is if you do that, if I'm like, oh, I would play, but it's on the do not play list, and like, you know what I mean? Use them as an alibi or whatever. Like they'll go up to the couple now,
Wow.
drunk, like,
Yeah.
come on, can you just tell them to go? You know what I mean? Now the couple has to deal with it. And like, I don't want them to deal with anything. So I just fucking lie. I'll be like, I don't have that. I'm fresh out of fucking Donna Summer right now. Like I don't even have, the file's corrupted. Or lately, lately,
That's a good one.
lately, no, like my favorite one lately, and it kind of works. It's crazy. Like they'll come up and then be like, hey, can you play Kirk Franklin? I'm like, oh my God, I love Kirk Franklin. And I just keep mixing.
And they're just stuck.
They're just like, okay, yeah. And then they just walk away. It fucking works. It's crazy. And I didn't say, and I didn't lie.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So good.
I'm telling you, dude.
I gotta write that one down. I love Drake.
Yeah. Oh my God, Drake's the best. Like, yeah.
Dude, I was at a wedding, and this guy, this is so good. Somebody would walk up and they would request, and the DJ was like, oh, I can tell you, do you have a song requisition form? And the couples, these people are drunk, and they're like, what? You got to go to find the general manager, ask him for the song requisition form. And granted, this is a wedding. Like, I don't even know if there is a general manager.
What was the general
And these people are like
manager?
drunk, they're like, Really? Oh yeah. Sorry, it's the venue's policy, song requisition form. Get it signed and bring it back to me, and I'll absolutely play that.
What a savage!
Yeah, it's great,
dude. So good. Like, people are like they'll walk around for like hours, like, where the fuck is this manager at? Yeah. Where do I get the song requisition form? They're asking the bartenders.
Yeah.
With my luck, they somehow find one. Like the bar downstairs had a karaoke DJ last night, and it's there, and they bring it up, and now I have to play it.
Yeah. See, I want to ask you about this. This is just one thing that drives. It's one of my biggest pet peeves with weddings, is when they put the bar in a different room. Or across the room, away from the dance floor. It drives me crazy.
Yeah. Different room's the worst.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing? You trying to kill me?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, you're fighting the bar all night.
Yep.
And then it turns into this like rubber band match, back and forth. Like, oh, everybody got a drink? No, come back to the floor. It drives me crazy.
Yeah. That's brutal. And cigar
do you
rollers.
Ever, when you talk to vendors, do you ever talk about logistics, how things are designed? Do you have any opportunity to talk? Because I'm sure you work with a lot of the same people a lot, right? Especially in the wedding community, there's certain preferred vendors, and you end up seeing the same people, or like even flower people and things like that.
Sure.
So do you ever have a chance to kind of formulate with them, like, hey, let's do it this way, so it actually makes a better night? Because just from the wisdom standpoint,
if I do, not really. I usually don't get a chance. I mean, sometimes I don't get a lot of say in that. It's tough.
Yeah.
Like I really. I'm just more defensive. I'm more in defense with this. Like I have a venue shit list, and I know, and it's on my notes, right? Like I'll show it to you, and like it has the details of every venue that's fucked up about it. Like they try and put me in a weird spot that works out terrible.
Good. So you are kind of like planning for it at least.
That's
so you already know how to counteract some of the shitty parts about it.
Well, yeah, because so now I preceding the wedding, I can literally talk to the couple and be like, oh yeah, you're at this venue. Just so you know,
wow,
there's an 80 decibel limit at the property line. Usually okay. They don't let me bring in subs. I'm bringing one anyway. I don't care. They can kick me out. All right. Yeah. Every wedding's a Super Bowl.
But that's good to know.
You know what I mean? Just so you know, whatever. And so they can help. Or hey, they usually set me up here. Can you ask them to set me up here? And this is why. And da. So I can kind of like put out these fires ahead of time.
So that's amazing.
Yeah.
Because you are playing at a lot of these places over and over again. Yeah. So you do know the weak points. So that's really good.
I was wondering how you knew all the info.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
But then you give people the inside scoop on that, like people that need to know other things too, that are going to in turn help you. Like bartenders are your best friend. Yeah. Especially an open bar is your best friend at a wedding. But when it's not open bar, you have a little bit more of an uphill battle because it's a little bit more of a slow drip to the drunk factor.
You ever tip out a bartender just so they pour heavier?
I've never thought of that.
I have to.
I don't have to. Well, it's not like an everyday thing, but like I don't know. I had a wedding in Cabo. I had a wedding in Cabo.
Oh, so you travel too?
And like,
I mean, I know you travel, but like that far?
I'm wherever they brought me.
Wow.
If it works out.
That's dope.
But I had a wedding in Cabo, and I was shook, man. They brought me all out there, right? It was at the Hard Rock and Cabo San Lucas, and super nice and everything. And we get there, and I'm looking at the tables, and I'm like, oh my god. There was 38 people at this wedding, right? That was it. Like destination. Usually you're smaller, but 38.
Yeah.
Wow. 38. I'm like, and the dance floor was huge. And I'm like, oh no. Well, this may be a shit sandwich. Like, what am I gonna? Oh no, right? So then I went up to both bartenders, and I slipped them both 20 American. And I was like, get them fucked up, please. I sound so much better when you're wasted. Get them fucked up. and he did. And they raged. They actually, they danced all night. I couldn't believe it. Like, I got lucky.
Well played, sir. That's well played.
38 people. I was so scared. Like, the smaller crowd scared the shit out of me. Like,
because how long do you play? I don't know how to word it. Prime time. What is your, like, is it 2 hours, hour and a half? Because I know there's a lot of, like, stages throughout the wedding, right?
Depends on the venue.
Okay.
Venue dictates timeline. So, like, Jersey venues, you'll have, like, a half-hour set, maybe a half-hour set or 2 half-hour sets before dinner, right, in between formalities, and then you'll have 2 hours at the end. Some venues front-load everything, and then you just have 2.5 hours at the end. Sometimes you have overtime, you know what I mean? So it'll be an extra hour, and I'm playing for 3 hours straight at the end.
Wow.
You know?
A lot of venues are like hard stops, though.
Yeah, hard stop.
Yeah, it's like 10
because of
10
alcohol?
p.m.
Yeah.
No, just the venue closes.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not
A lot
like
of times they're in hotels and there's noise ordinance.
Yeah,
for
and they're not
rooms.
selling liquor. Like the couple prepays liquor. So, they're not, you're not, if you're there, it's open bar. So the venue is like, you prepay it, 10 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 p.m., whatever, they're done.
Yeah, and then you got to, like, anticipate, like, all right, is this going well? Is it a good crowd? Are they going to do the one more song chant? Because then I'm going to end at 10:57 just in case, because you're not going to want to be that guy. You know what I mean? But then you end, every once in a while, you end like 2 minutes early and then nothing. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I'm such an asshole.
You ever struggled at all, like, as far as, like I can't hold this crowd or just... Like you had a certain wedding.
Dude. Oh, you definitely get tough crowds, man.
I feel like I think it's way harder.
Though.
I think it's more respect straight up than rocking a club, because a club is you're playing top 40. You know what to play. So weddings, like, especially you have 38 people for that big dance floor.
Yeah, and so, I mean, you know, clubs, I feel like people go out to clubs to dance. Like, you're going to dance and rage or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, weddings, like, there's sometimes guests that are just there to be polite. They're just, we're dipping after cake, you know what I mean, or whatever.
And that's what I'm so used to. Because, like, when I was doing weddings, you know, central Wisconsin crowds, like, every once in a while, you get one crazy one. But, like, it was mostly just proper... You know, everybody's there, you know, Aunt Martha, and, you know, the mom is there to do their dances.
Yeah.
And I feel like the ceremony dances were actually more part of the show.
Yeah.
Like, they take an hour sometimes just to do that.
What's
like, you know, like the...
I don't know, bro. I got married.
Like mother, son, father, daughter.
Oh, that.
Like the money dances and all that stuff. So they would drag on for like over an hour sometimes. But, so have you noticed, like, I'm noticing the reversal. I went to a wedding in Orlando, like my buddy was, you know, he's more on the trendy side of things, and he literally just did 30 seconds of each thing.
Not bad. Well, down the wrong too.
It's all good.
He's probably hearing the headphones like, my bad. Go ahead. Yeah.
So he was kind of on the trendy side of things. So what would end up happening is he wanted those little moments with the photographer.
Yeah.
Because he did 30 seconds of the father. He literally was speed running. Because he wanted to go to a club. Wow. So the actual ceremony was like 45 minutes. The whole thing. He got married, did all the garden photos, had the whole fake ceremony shots, and got done with that. All right, have you noticed, is there a trend, or is it maybe just case by case where you're kind of deleting ceremonies, like traditional stuff, for the sake of just having a rager?
Yeah, it's trending that way. Nobody does bouquet garter anymore. Cake cutting's a lot of times private. Dollar dance, I haven't done a dollar dance.
See, that's what I mean.
10 years.
Wow.
There used to be like a lot more formalities, and it's all. Is
it the economy? No,
and they're right. and they're shortening the songs too. Yeah. So like first dance is 2 minutes. Parent dances are 2 minutes each. So that's 6 minutes total, and then maybe a couple speeches, but that's it. So it's more time.
I mean, and now you're bringing
to party.
Like to your point, now it's like cold sparklers. You're doing lasers. You have lights. You know, full DJ setup. Like, it's a show now. It's not like you're just rocking.
And they want to get to that show. They don't want to waste time. Like, let's get to the fun part.
Exactly. So you have to dance them longer. But like, so I really pay a lot of attention to like cocktail hour and dinner, and like I curate that the right way, because like I want them to vibe. Like I kind of want them to have like one extra drink during cocktail hour than they normally would, and like same thing during dinner. And then like it pays dividends. And then you also see what they're vibing to. So like I know a good idea of what's going to work later and shit, like, you know what I mean, and try and like stack my deck in the right favor that way, you know what I mean, because these are going to be long sets. It's marathon type stuff. And
what's the longest wedding?
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. So we'll start. What's the longest wedding you ever did?
I don't know, probably 7 hours. So it was like 4 straight hours of dancing. I just did a wedding. My last wedding last week. It was a 5-hour wedding, but everything was in the same room, and it was a like a cocktail reception. So there wasn't enough. This happens too. There's not enough tables and chairs for everybody, and it's stationed. So you just help yourself. It's open. Food's open for 2 hours, and it's just like we want to dance the whole time. Other than they had 2 dances. They had a 2-minute first dance, 2-minute parent dance. That's it. So I just mixed the whole time. I was opening for myself essentially during cocktail hour, but then after that we did a dance, and it was straight 4 hours straight of dancing.
That's
amazing.
All it was.
That's a long time.
Like,
you know?
So I've been to a lot of weddings, and I always notice like my favorite wedding DJs are really, really, really good MCs. They're not just good DJs, but they're like exceptional at MCing. Like, how much do you use the mic during your weddings?
Not a lot. I mean, you know, and some may say I should do more. I don't know. I sprinkle it in here and there, you know what I mean? Like I obviously do all the formalities and everything, and then like, you know, your hands up records, or your drinks in the air, and you like my little ad libs. But I'm a less is more guy, like, you know what I mean? And I focus more on like routines and like kind of how I'm mixing it and stuff.
So you kind of pierce that proper period. Like do you have like a signature move that you like to do with a certain song, if you're not using the mic? Because that's what I would do personally, is like you're going to use the mic to break that whole pattern of, everybody stop being proper, let's have some fun. Like that's what I would typically do. So what's your maneuver to get that? Or you just kind of slow ramp it, or is there like a hard break point for you, or how's that work?
I don't know. I never thought of like that. I have a lot of ideas and routine, like too many, and I just string them a lot together, and I just figure out, and like I have like ways I kind of like to start. Like I have safe sets up front, like safe things to do to kind of feel them out, and then I go based on what the couple wants, you know what I mean, and like just kind of,
because I guess it is kind of case by case, because like if you got more of an EDM heavy couple versus more of a hip hop or top 40 couple,
correct,
you're gonna do things entirely differently. So I understand how that is. It's not the same recipe. I mean,
one of the biggest things I've learned, and that like took me a long time to learn, I was probably late to the party on this, but like riding a wave where like I'm not like, I used to think like, I used to play like I have to be at a 10, you know what I mean? Like it's an hour and a half dance set. Like I can't give them an opportunity to leave. And that's actually wrong in my opinion. Like I think like I'll play bedrock in the middle of my set now. Like I'll play like I'll drop it down to T-Pain. I'll drop, you know what I mean? And ride that, especially with the longer sets, riding the wave, and you know like that's so important, and that's what really helps you like with the long like.
It's funny because so many weddings too are not like a club where it's like you kind of get this, you know, you start and you get this peak, and then Grandma goes and sits down, and Uncle Joe goes to the bar, and you know people kind of spread out, and then they kind of come back, and then it'll kind of filter out, and then it comes back again. It kind of filters out, and you know.
Exactly.
I was gonna ask about like, do you ever get nervous? Like, you know, it's routine. They're gonna go away to the bar. They're gonna come back. I know how to bring them back. Cause like kind of like us when we as the club DJ, if it filters out, I'm like I know what songs to put on. Is that how it works as well? Like. You can tell yourself, oh, they're just going to the bar right now. I'm gonna get them back, like the waves and stuff like that.
Usually, I mean, it just depends. Some crowds perplex me. I'm sometimes it's just absurd. I'm just like, it takes me like the seventh thing I thought of, and that worked. I'm like, oh, thank God! Like, holy shit!
So you have like nights where like, dude, I just can't get it.
Every once in a while, I'll have a wedding. I'm sitting there and like I'm literally just cursing to myself. Like, no, there's no way. There's no way. They just got me. Do you even give a shit about these people? There's no way you're not dancing. There's no way. Like, I'm mad as hell.
Yeah.
Just sick of these people. But like,
well, that's the other thing, because you know these songs work.
Yeah.
There's the routines work. Like especially 9 out of 10, but there's the 1 out of 10.
But do you think it's people that never gone out? Like they just like or the family or dynamic has never been like a family a party. You know, like I've seen family like that. Man, that's party.
It's brutal to watch.
It's cultural
sometimes.
too. Like some cultures like Hispanic weddings.
We don't
for
stop.
instance, are like crazy.
We wake up drinking.
Like I've never been to a Hispanic wedding that wasn't just like a 10.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But then like there's other weddings that are
everyone's conservative and
very
or they don't
like
go
that.
out.
Exactly. You know.
The biggest thing though is really like what I talked about with like cocktail and dinner and like doing that stuff, but then also like having detailed conversations with a couple and like really like prying shit out of them, like oh, tell me about your family, tell me what do they like, whatever, you know what I mean, and like you'll get it out of them. Like sometimes they're reluctant to tell you, or they didn't even think of it. They're not even like thinking that deep into music, but you'll get shit out of them, and that's your. I'm always like, let me know what song goes off at the bachelor party. Let me know if you have a family tradition, or back in the day, was there a song with your friends in high school, or like let me know all this stuff I wouldn't know, and then I can kind of like my last wedding, that 4-hour wedding. I dug and they were just, we love house. At the end of the day, we all love house. Like, house is the shit. Like, you play a little bit of hip hop, we want a little bit of everything, but we like love house. And they were 1000% right. Like, I literally, that's what worked. Even when I dropped down to hip hop, that's kind of when I lost them a little bit. And then I just ripped house the whole night, and they danced all night. Like, you know what I mean? And like, thank God, like I otherwise maybe house, because they were old. It was an older couple too. They were in their 40s.
Oh, that's cool.
So like late 40s. So like, house wouldn't have been the first thing I would have tried. I would have probably started with disco, and I would have done that, and they liked a little bit of that, but like, because I pried that out of them, then I leaned with that,
Yeah, you just unlocked a core memory, because it was one of the last weddings I ever did. It was Madison, Wisconsin, and the song "Motorin', what's your price for flight?"
REO Speedway.
Yeah, we could not remember any. We just remember that little phrase, because the entire bachelor, or I should say the groom with all his friends, they were in like a frat house together, and they used to sing that. And no one could remember the name of the artist or the actual name. Sister Christian.
Sister Christian, that's what you're right.
But we couldn't remember, and this is before iPhones, so we couldn't Google it.
Yeah.
We couldn't understand. And it took an hour and a half to figure it out, and we figured it out right before the venue closed. And the entire group of guys got in this big circle. It was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. It was just one of those. They screamed it at the top of their lungs the whole way through, and that's how we closed the wedding.
Yeah,
that's dope.
Fire.
That's
like, how would you have known
beautiful.
that?
It was beautiful.
You know what I mean? Like,
we
they
knew
didn't
we had
tell
the
you.
CD.
Yeah.
We knew we had the CD, but we're like, what's the name of the artist? What's the name of the song? And we finally figured it out.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, are you using Apple Music or anything to have stuff for requests? Like, so you can ready to go, like in case you don't have it or anything? Do you know that Apple Music merged, or what's the other one?
Well, no, yeah, because you can stream direct. Everything.
And you have
now.
that, or you have connected, or always connected to Wi-Fi just in case, or you kind of got it all.
I own all my own. Like I just do all MP3. And it's like it's tough to. I don't want to lie because like I curate all the wedding playlists for BeatSource. So like I work for BeatSource.
Okay, so.
But I don't really. I don't want to say I don't use BeatSource, but I don't use it at weddings.
Gotcha.
Like you know what I mean? That's just it's just not my workflow.
Well, the technology is still maturing.
You know what I mean?
We've got to be, we got to understand that we're still in this weird threshold point.
Yeah.
Streaming is obviously getting beaten into the culture quickly.
Yeah.
By numerous companies. I just don't think that it's going to be like the full force thing yet. I think owning your MP3s is still the best maneuvers because Wi-Fi isn't raining down on us like radio signal yet.
Yeah.
So it's coming. I think 5G is going to end up being the standard. There's going to be a 5G chip in every laptop.
Yeah.
And then obviously in every single CDJ in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's coming. But the technology has to be worked on and curated right now.
Well, yeah, and the next generation. So like I already have all the songs. So like why would I? You know what I mean? Like if I were to start DJing today, and I didn't have a hard drive full of music, I would absolutely use BeatSource. Mm-hmm. I would absolutely do all. Why am I going to buy all this music or why am I going to search all that out? It's all right there. You know what I mean? But like if you already have it, then that's up. So I think like as like the newer generation, like they're coming up streaming. You know what I mean? Like that's how they're coming up. Yep. Then as we get old, whatever, then that it's going to be the standard one day. You know what I mean? Like we're probably going to be with walkers at that point.
And we'll still be using our MP3s.
Yeah. Oh, I got that on MP3.
Back in my day.
I got a wave for that. I'll show it to you. Yeah,
that's great.
That's great.
I actually want to talk to you about the social media side of all this because now we understand your pathway as a professional. But then let's add in the social media. Like, when did you realize it was such a valuable tool? And what was the first piece of content that made you go, whoa, okay, this is working? So
I, would post here and there, whatever. But I got serious with YouTube because when I came to the company I'm with now, I've been almost 10 years now, SE Event Group. It was like making it to majors. They were like the one company. I was like, man, these guys are doing shit right. They were all so good and everything, And I got to the company and I was like, fuck, like, how many get booked? Like, they have mad footage. I couldn't use any footage for my older weddings. Like, the other company was cool with it. So, like, I was like, how am I going to get booked without any footage? These weddings get booked a year and a half in advance. Who's going to book me in front of all these guys? Like, what am I going to, like, you know what I mean? Like, how am I going to get booked? How do I get this shit started? Mm-hmm. And my idea at the time was, okay, I got an idea. I have strong opinions with certain things. I'll just turn on the camera. I'll yell at the camera. I'll yell my opinions. I'll do tip videos. And then the couples will be like, oh, wow, he does tip videos. He must know what the fuck he's doing. And this is my whole. So then I started a YouTube channel and started doing tip videos just for that. But then like I caught the bug. I was like, oh, this is really cool. And then like, so like, I just enjoyed doing the videos and whatever and putting all that out there. And like I was steady with that with YouTube. And then, the second, but then as far as like Reels and TikToks and stuff like that, I decided, I think I was one of the first, at least at weddings, to like, I was like, all right, I'll just start showing my transitions and you can like actually see the crowd. Because there's a lot of DJs like on TikTok, like just doing routines at their crib or whatever, mashups. But I was like, I think it would be a different dynamic if you see the crowd react. There's so many things to point out. You're going to watch the video over and over again to see what this girl does. Yeah. And then, weddings are so valuable because every culture on earth, like everybody's been to a wedding, who's gone to a wedding, gotten married, like everybody. Doesn't matter who you are, how old, young. It's just like, it's not everybody goes to clubs, not everybody, weddings, everybody, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's such a wide, it's true. It's like it's huge, right? So then, so I did one routine, posted it, and it did all right. And I was like, all right, cool. And then the second one I did, 34 million views.
Which one was that?
34 million.
Yeah, and you know what's fucked up about it, dude? It's one of those fucking wordplays that everybody does. Like, it's one of those obvious wordplays. There's edits of it. Yeah. It was fucking...
But you came up with it by yourself.
I don't know. I don't remember. Okay. To be honest with you, I don't remember. I'm not going to count. I don't remember.
After AM did it, he totally thought of it himself.
Yeah, like... No, but you're going to laugh. Because, like, it was ironic. Like that went crazy viral. I'm like, holy shit,
what was the routine? What was the routine?
But I was like, why this routine? It's fucking the Britney Spears Party in the USA into fucking
Jay-Z?
No.
The Britney song was on.
And the Britney song was on. Baby One More Time.
Yeah.
And when I got the video, I did the routine, and this girl right there was like, and she did a reaction. I think that's one of the reasons why it's
That's
viral
why,
or whatever.
That's why.
And so it was like, oh shit, I'm going viral, but oh shit, why that? Like I shouldn't have even posted that. Like everyone's gonna flame me. You know,
Yeah,
no,
because so many
those-
brides saw that and we're like, that's my dude.
Yeah.
So that motivated me in two ways, because like the first thing was like, all right, well, I went super viral for this. I do this every weekend. I can fucking produce this content all day. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like I was going viral on a one-off trend. Like, this is like some shit. Like, I can definitely reproduce this. And then on number two, I was like, I got to show everybody that I have original shit, because everyone's probably fucking clowning me. So like, so then I'm like, so I was on a mission. So that whole year, we had the camera on the entire time.
Why did you feel like everyone's clowning you?
Like,
Why?
well, it's my deep insecurity from being a wedding DJ and coming up as a wedding DJ and not being a cool club guy. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that you like the club thing was just like, wow. And so
I think it's
you're
pretty
doing
cool that you're
club
bringing
routines. I mean,
that
you know?
technical side to a wedding. I think that's dope. When I
Yeah.
first saw it, I was like, yo, this is fucking dope. I followed you right away.
Oh, thank you.
But
man.
you
Yeah.
actually you put like the hype wedding thing on my radar, because for the longest time I didn't go to weddings, and the weddings I did do were so proper and and simple. So I was like, wow, this is, you showed me the window into what's trending, and obviously, you know, Jason too. Like, I see a lot of his content, and then obviously there's a few other guys that I know, and I was like, man, do I want to do weddings again? Because like, I was just so phobic of it. I was scared to do weddings because of that pressure you speak about, because it's their one day. It's not like, you know, you can have a bad time at a club one time.
It's a Super Bowl, bro.
You
That's
can,
what
you
I-
can,
that's
you
what I
can
meant.
rekindle
It's
it
a
the
Super
next
Bowl.
week, but you got one window and one chance to impress them, and then the word of mouth factor. So all that weighing on my shoulder, I was like, no. And I also
I never thought about that.
I have some nightmares. I have a
The
nightmare
word of
story.
mouth. Like, oh, you shouldn't get in for your wedding. You shouldn't, because you messed up that one.
yeah, 'cause
little-
it's like,
or you
especially-
pronounced the name wrong. I was
Yeah.
gonna ask you about the mic when you asked that.
Or
Like,
announce a father-daughter dance, and the father died a month before the wedding.
Yeah, like all that.
Nobody told me.
You did that?
That story.
That's
I don't even have to say to that.
It's the same reaction every time.
that's a pretty bad one.
But nobody told me.
I was
Yeah.
dead quiet.
So what'd you say after?
This is why I've never done another wedding.
Yeah. He was like, just kidding.
So
edit this.
there's a lot of other things happening, but so I'm typically the point man for the turntables, right? I'm that guy, and my boss was the person that meets with the bride and groom. And this is back when we still use paper, nothing digital, no iPads, no PDF sheets to fill out. And you know, he just had a super basic ass form, like look like this, and they, you know, all the different events were on each page.
Yeah.
And they still had it there, but then they just put an arrow, please flip over. And no one even decided to tell me this in person or on the phone. As I'm announcing and I'm reading, don't announce the father-daughter dance. The father
Jesus.
died a month before the wedding. As I'm on the microphone saying it.
Because it's like routine. You're just like, all right,
I was
right
like,
now.
oh, was
father-
there something else I have to say with it? Oh, cool, let me check it out. I'm like, no. Like, I just wanted to grab the shovel and start digging a hole.
Oh my
And
God.
so she comes up and she says, she grabs the microphone from me, the eyes that can kill type of thing. And she's like, turns around and says, I'd like to dedicate this song. I still had the song ready. So she's like, I want to dedicate the song to every father and daughter in the room. Come out and dance in memory of my dad. I'm like, good save. Good fucking save. Thank you for that. And she hands the mic back to me, like almost threw it at me.
Yeah, she's
I'm
pissed.
like, okay. And this is just one of many things that was going on. This is a very long story, but that was the peak of the horrible night that it was.
nah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
that's why
scary.
I haven't done a wedding since.
That's scary. I mean,
Traumatic.
but the cool thing with weddings, though,
Nobody
is
told me.
But now it's less formalities and more DJing, and they
Yeah.
appreciate the
Yeah.
DJing. So like, I see a lot of club guys getting away. A lot of club guys have been hitting me up too, like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm starting to do this, you know, or especially club guys that are having families and stuff. So I don't want to travel as much. I can make good money doing weddings. Like, I
yeah.
think like there's, you know,
Are you seeing the market get a little bit more competitive too? Because there are.
It's the best, though. I love it,
but
man.
you're
It's
already-
bringing
You're
the
so
bar up.
established, so obviously, and the fact that you've been so relevant in so many different ways, I don't see it really being a problem for you in general. But for a lot of guys trying to get into the scene, there's a lot of competition.
Well,
And
yeah.
with good DJs.
Sure.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what's so crazy.
Well, and that's what I tell wedding DJs. I'm like, yo, if you guys like, if you're still one of the dudes that like aren't mixing, or like you gotta focus on all that, because the club guys are coming in. Pandemic happened.
I was gonna ask you about the
and-
politics. This is part of the politics.
Yeah.
People coming in into the market.
Well, sure, because like pandemic happened, and the only gigs that were happening during pandemic were weddings, underground, and then the first gigs to come back were weddings, and they were just making it work with rules, like not clubs, nothing like that. They stayed closed for longer. So I feel like a lot of the club guys were like, holy fuck, like I should, you know what I mean? Like they kind of got more private events.
Yeah.
And then just like, because you can, do more club sets now and anyway, like, so there's an influx of club guys coming into the market. And I think it's great. It's just going to raise the bar, raise the prices, raise everything. And then if you are, a DJ who doesn't mix or whatever, eventually you're going to be, it's just going to be like, back in the day with bands and weddings. It used to be all bands. And then when DJs came in, the technology and the mobile, they can like bring speakers and DJ. Then like all the shitty bands didn't get booked. Because why hire a shitty band for this much where you could just get a DJ to play the actual song? You know what I mean? Like the good bands still got booked and then the DJs got booked. It's the same thing. The shitty DJs won't get booked anymore and the good DJs will prevail like in the wedding world.
What were
it's gonna be different.
like what are some tips for like when I was doing weddings or like the few that I did, it was like you had to get in with the wedding planners. And wedding planners were the ones that, you get in them. Like they're the ones that are making referrals to the couples or, you get on the venues, referral list or whatever. What are some tips for some people that are, wanting to get into weddings like that, or just kind of like starting out?
So yeah, the wedding planner thing is based. It depends on where you're at. Like I have a unique market where like we have a lot of maitre d's, and there's not like a lot of wedding planners that really run our market. Like all the high end venues, like they kind of just like do their own thing. But that's the case with most of like getting in with wedding planners matters, but it's easier said than done. My main tip is just post content. You got to just show. I would work with, if I was starting over, I would work with a prominent DJ company in my area, whatever the best one is, shadow them, and then get content while you're with them. Have it, hey, can I mix at the wedding? Get content of that and just start posting. Because like couples, that's where couples are going. Couples are just going, they're searching their venue, they're searching whatever, and like that's where they're going to look for wedding inspiration in general,
To piggyback off them, has that helped you go on viral? Like, did you see like the,
oh yeah,
like boom, not just was it gradually? Was it like overnight? Like, overnight. I can charge this much. Wow, everyone's the demand is there. It was
how is that? How is going viral
leverage your rate all the time?
Like how has it changed how you can charge? Have you seen a strong leverage point because of your virality on social media?
Big time. Yeah, like if I have a to this day, if I get a viral video, the office gets 60 calls, 75 calls, like on the spot, like you know what I mean, like, and then it comes in.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and not all of them, not necessarily like they have the some people don't have the budget, things like that, whatever. But
also bidding. You get into bidding situations on certain weekends and things like that.
I don't do that, but I will do like I don't like booking out more than a year in advance. And if they want to do more than that, then like we charge more. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like
how many weddings do you do a year? Like do you cap it at like 25 or like
60?
60? Okay.
65. Yeah.
Wow.
Like right in that row. That's my sweet spot.
You're on a roster, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's like my sweet spot. I like 60, 65. I'm happy. And then I might go down to 40 eventually, just charge more, like, what I mean? Have more time with, little man and all that. Like the most I ever did was 113 in a year. And I'm telling you, by the end of the year, I was just, I fucking hate love. Like, I hope they break up. Like everyone, I'm just like, this fucking wedding suck. Like, dude, I can't do that many. Like, I'm happy 60, 65. You know what I mean? Like,
what's your record for the year?
I'm happy to be there. 113.
113, huh?
It's like 3 a week.
It was insane.
That's so many.
It was because of COVID too. It was 2021 or 22, one of those years, because we had so many postponements. All the dates were being taken, so the couples were like, well, fuck that, I'll get married on a Monday. Fuck that, I'll get married on Thursday, because I don't want to wait 2 years to get a Saturday. So then I had so many weekends where it was like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
That's crazy.
So Monday I'm like, I don't.
But then like the venues were offering like, it's a 2-year wait to get a venue on a Saturday, and it's X amount of dollars. You can have it on a Thursday Monday, and it's a third of the price.
Yeah. Correct. And you can have it this year and get married and get the tax benefit or whatever. Like, so that's what was happening.
You got the
that's
whole
why
weekend with your family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is it's a lot of wins there.
Thursday weddings are lit. That actually started a trend too. So I never had a Thursday wedding in my life, or maybe like a one-off. Now Thursday weddings are a thing.
It's a trend.
I think I have like 6 or 7 this year, and they're great. They're always down to fucking take off Friday, and you know what I mean, and vibe for the weekend. But like Sunday weddings are more like nobody wants to take off Monday, and you know what I mean. Like Sunday weddings are more hit.
And they're tired from Saturday night.
Exactly.
So
is it only weddings though? Like, are you taking any other like private gigs? Like, I don't know, any other corporate side of things? Like,
Because you do sporting events.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I just do what I know I could do a good job at. You know what I mean? Like I can't I don't really do like proms or Sweet 16s ever anymore. Never really did mitzvahs or quinceañeras or anything like that. I'll do a corporate event, if it's the right,
Because I feel like the music's exactly the same. Because I do a ton of corporate, and it's all my wedding playlists.
Well, like proms. Like, is it the demographic, or is it just you're over it, or just is wedding more money, or what's the reason behind it?
It is. I mean, there's proms with bigger budgets, but the problem is like proms, I like the amount of research and work I have to put into a prom, and every high school is different, and they sometimes they like the SoundCloud shit and like really deep stuff, like
it's stressful.
And finding the clean version,
and it's like so like I'm putting all this work in, and like you normally can't even charge as much, and it's like so much preparation for a one-off gig. You know what I mean? Like weddings, I'm in a groove. Like clubs, bars, I'm in a groove. This is like completely different.
Oh, okay.
And then you put in all that work, and you get there, and then I play a song that I literally just played last week at a club, and it went off, and you got kids going. And I'm like, you don't know shit. You're fucking 17. Yeah. Like, this just popped off. Yeah, last weekend. You don't know. And I get so mad.
It's too old for them already.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just frustrating. So, like,
you're not playing Whitney Houston at prom.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I see I got a prom coming up, too. I'm stressed out.
It's just a lot of work. Like, you got to really prepare. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know.
It is. It's tough. So, actually, I was just talking to another corporate buddy of mine, and I'm curious about what you have to say about this, but do you feel like you have like a script set that you kind of have ready to go that you can obviously, it's like pick your own storyline or like pick your own adventure, but do you have like a safety blanket core set that you kind of just ride off of in general?
1,000,000%. So I have two ways, right? So like either I start in the hundreds or I start in the 120s based on the crowd. And, either I start with I Want You Back by Jackson 5 or September, right? And this is if like, they want it open format or whatever, otherwise then I'm going to pivot. But like, and then like I have like my safety set, like in the 120, like I kind of go up through 128 and then come down to the one teens in there. And like, you know what I mean? Like, and then same thing with the hundreds. I have like a safety set I'll go through, and it's like, it's generally the structure similar.
Yeah. I don't want to interrupt you, but it's not even a safety set anymore. It's the set.
Yeah.
Because think about how many times you've seen this work and you're not in front of that same group. Hardly, or you're never going to see these people again, right?
Yeah.
So it's the set. It works psychologically for 9 out of 10 people.
Yeah.
So it just turns into a script that you can improv off of, right?
I mean, in every song, the word. Every word to every song you're playing in 2 hours. Yeah. Every single person there knows every word to every song.
Yeah. And I record on my sets and listen back and beat myself up about it. So like, especially like those beginning sets, like my core, whatever, like I have that set. It is polished to the. Like, even I had to make a little minute edit just for this perfect look. It is polished to the fucking, like, you know what I mean? Like, I had that shit down, and it warms them up, and then, like, all right, where do I want to go from here? You know what I mean? And, so, and I think it's important. It's like a safety blanket. You got to warm up the crowd. You got to see what you're in for, especially because, like, a lot of times I'm dancing before dinner. Like, that's the timeline, and not everybody's used to that. It's, like, a very regional thing. So, like, if people are coming from out of town, they've never been to a wedding where it's like, all right, first dance. All right, everybody join my dance. We're going to dance. Like, why are we dancing now? We're not ready. Like, you know what I mean? So like you gotta like kind of play it safe a little bit.
Mine to kick off the night would always be My Girl.
Okay.
Especially after the formal dance of the couple for the first dance, and you do want everybody to get out there.
Yeah, that's
My
a good
Girl
idea.
worked. The bass line just works every single
I want to
time.
dance by somebody by Whitney Houston.
Oh yeah. While you guys are on it, you guys are saying all these songs. I want to know your top 5. Guaranteed are always gonna work. Top 5 wedding songs.
Well, I'll break down.
I know you're already naming them. I don't want.
Yeah.
I want your top 5 guaranteed is almost to be a bit that are crowd savers.
I'll quickly break down my safety net right now. So September into low. If it's an older crowd, I'll do Push It. If it's like the good amount of older people. If it's not, then I go right into Tricky. If I'm allowed from Tricky, I'll go into YMCA real quick, and then from YMCA I go into Calabria. My bad. It's my accent. And then from Calabria, if there's like Latin influence in the crowd, or if they're younger, I'll do like Danza Pepas.
Okay.
And then into the Conga Shake. Shout out to Steve Adler.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Or Steve Wonder. I said fucking Adler. Yeah, Wonder. Yeah, Steve Wonder.
Yeah. Dude, it sounds like I'm hearing my own playlist right now. This is blowing my mind right now. Like, you're a psychic.
So then from the Conga Shake, then I drop on the one Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, right? Right, go from there. And then from there I do like low 80s, like I'll do like what the fuck?
The 128, the Gator Shorty.
No, like 80s, like a Rick roll, right? So they do the Rick roll into the don't you or no the
Don't You Want Me, Baby?
yeah, hey. Ooh, or if they're a little, I'll do It Takes Two from, you know what I mean? And kind of go into there, and then from there I'm like, all right, am I gonna go into hip hop? Am I gonna drop down to hundreds? Am I gonna go back into house? Yeah, you got all that, and I got them now, right? Like that's like, so that's basically like my. And then from there, I
always try to explain to people, there's only about 200 songs that really matter.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, there's about 200 songs.
At weddings or?
In corporate wedding environments. There's about 200 songs that actually matter. Everything else is like in the moment or just cool right now, or you're going to take it in and take it back out. But there's always going to be that 200 list of guaranteed must plays.
Yeah.
And I always I look at my playlist on Serato, and there's a lot of recurrence that will never die. Yeah. And they will always be there, and they're transgenerational. They will continue to move on. They will continue to stay relevant. You know, the Usher, the hips don't lie.
I mean, the Michael Jackson's 70s,
Michael
80s.
Jackson,
40 years old.
You know what's been going crazy? Speaking of Shakira, Whatever, Whenever.
Oh yeah,
that one
that goes
picked up
crazy
steam again.
Like, I don't know how.
I've been hearing that.
I think it was her first hit, right? Was that first?
So.
Or was that English hit? Yeah,
She crossed over. Yep.
Yeah, so that's been going crazy. But you have those 200, and then the other side of it is like you really just try and think. I try and think of like what other deeper stuff I can kind of squeeze in here and there, sandwiched between the 200 songs that like can kind of
because that's where
we never heard this in a wedding before.
The pick your own adventure. That's where things get interesting. Or if it's like an EDM crowd, they want to hear a bunch of really cool like house and throwback rave tracks. Yeah. All of a sudden you can get in a totally different pocket that you normally would never do. But that's case by case.
Yeah.
Do you play much rock like Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer? Like when you
hate
play
that song. Jersey. I avoid that song like that.
Jersey.
Oh God. Yeah.
What are your top 5 worst like you hate?
That
I know you're in the middle.
Bon Jovi. I
didn't interrupt. My bad. I just want to know. Like, what are your you're over with?
Paradise by a Dashboard Light like makes my pee-pee soft.
It's a 7-minute song.
Fuck it. Yeah, and it's a commitment. And then they act it out. It's so dumb.
What song is it?
It's for the theater kids.
I'm Mexican. I might not know that one.
It's the whitest shit on it.
It's the Caucasian sensation.
Okay, literally. I've never heard of that track.
Yeah.
Alex haven't heard.
Dancing Queen. I hate that
I
song.
hate Dancing Queen too.
I can't stand it.
It'll never go away.
From the beginning piano, it's like, but it works. I'm just like, ugh, you all suck.
That's actually the first song. That's his first song request I ever got.
Really?
Dancing Queen.
No way. Yeah. Holy shit.
You got 2 more. You got 2 more. That you hate.
2 more. What else do
like,
I hate?
Bro.
Cupid
Beat It,
Shuffle.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, all those.
I cringe for YMCA too.
You know,
See,
dude, YMCA is a banger.
Yo, it's so
It
fun
is.
because people
I can't
just
stand it.
I love it, dude. That song goes
Even in the
crazy.
I hate it.
YMCA.
I hate it.
All disco is so fun at a wedding.
good.
I'd rather play Macho Man. I'm gonna dance a Macho Man.
Hell yeah.
That I've never played or heard at a wedding.
Yeah, and then the other ones, but like Cupid Shuffle, Cha Cha
I
Slide.
hate
Yeah.
Cupid. Okay.
This is something new. Like, no, it's not.
My bad, Chuck. I know you were asking. My bad.
It's fucking not.
Oh no, yeah, they're never gonna go away.
Yeah.
They're just you got to just live with it. It's like Stockholm syndrome. You just got to learn to love it.
Every night you're gonna have to slide to the left. You're gonna have to slide to the
No,
right.
the line dances. I don't know. I don't run into a lot of line. That's the number one thing on the do not play list. It's very rare I'm playing a line dance, and the only time I play a line dance, and we're talking last 5 years to be safe, is someone in the family always does this line dance. You have to play it. It's so and so, the mom or whatever, and it's a special request. And just that line dance. Don't go crazy. No more than that. And that's it.
Oh, they don't want it.
Yeah.
No, never want line dances.
So you
It's very
said
rare in
the
my weddings.
evolution of weddings is getting more modern. Like
These are my couples.
Yeah.
So, but on the flip side, you do like
they
wobble.
look at
Yeah,
it's very
it's kind of
cheesy.
cheesy. Like
No, wobble's
80s
different
perspective
though.
I had is
Wobble's
kind of
like-
fading away.
Wobble's like a line dance that crosses over to hip hop a
Yeah,
little bit.
I love
It's-
wobble.
It's like very
I love
modern.
wobble, yeah.
like-
I hate the
Really?
wobble. It needs to disappear, dude.
That's so funny, man.
Oh, I can't stand it.
Yeah.
It works in the club, works in a
It does work
corporate,
though. I
and
can't.
a wedding. It's
Yeah,
just,
it works.
Yeah, it's really amazing.
Oh man, I can't.
So no, it's so this year, like first of all, thank you for the amazing conversation. Like a lot of gems too, because it gives even me like a lot of things I relate to, a lot of things I've been fearful of. In the wedding realm, you've actually gotten rid of those fears from watching your content. And actually, like, just for the camera, let everybody know where they can find you. What are the best places they can find you, and how do they find you?
Oh yeah, I had a camera there the whole time.
Yeah. Say hi to him.
Wow.
Hello.
It'll grab it.
Yeah, at DJ Nick Spinelli everywhere, or nickspinelli.com. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
You see
And
his
obviously,
videos
because you've got the YouTube, Instagram.
Yeah.
Is there any else?
So youtube.com/Nick Spinelli.
Okay.
And then and at DJ Nick Spinelli everywhere.
No, that's great. And
So-
congratulations on all the success that you've been having. You've really learned to bridge the gaps. Like, you really
I'm
have.
trying.
Like, you brought
No,
so
for
many
real, you
great
done
elements:
it.
the turntablism, crowd rocking
Yup.
in a corporate environment, keeping it professional and really cool, and obviously broadcasting it for the world to see. That's what I admire the most about it, because that's how I discovered you, is through social media, and it's awesome that you've been able to really keep that going in such a great way. So once again, Late Night Legends. I'm your host, DJ DeVille. We've got Icon, we've got Exile, and Nick Spinelli in the building. Thanks again.
Give it up, man.
Put 'em in.
Salute. Cheers.
Cheers.
Salute. Cheers. Thank you guys. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Cheers.
Late night legends, late night legends. Direct from Vegas, it's the late night legends. Late night legends, late night legends. Club killers, let's go. Late night legends. Late night legends. Direct from Vegas, the world famous Club Killers crew.